My name is Patrick Stangbye. I'm 32 years old, living in Oslo. Been living in Oslo for the past 7 years now, I think. And yeah, I've been running more seriously since I was 27. So it's been quite a few years now already that I did ultras. I did my first marathon actually fall 2016, and that was more a challenge with a friend. So, but after I had a really good sensation and experience from racing, so I think it was a good way to celebrate the sport that we all love. And then from 2017 I did a lot of longer races, especially in the mountains, and I haven't looked back ever since. Feeling pretty good. I mean, it's my first real race of the season, and I'm happy to be racing again. It's been a good 6 months since my last race, which was in Sweden actually in early November. So I'm happy to do the Nordic Trail Series this year. But I'm also unsure how many of the Danish runners actually will do the full series, but it will be fun to see if there are some faces here tomorrow that we will also see in Sweden and in Stranda later in the season. Now it's 7:23 in the morning. We are on the way to pick up our bibs for the Hammer Trail, 30 kilometers. No, but now we got everything. Golden Trail. Wow. I mean, I think it's a good initiative to do a Nordic series. I think it maybe can bring together some communities that not always meet. Maybe the people who meet from the Nordic trail running communities, they meet in international races and not so much in Scandinavian or Nordic series. So I think it's nice for even then people at a different level who just want to race in a country that is closer to them can do that as well. And for us, I mean, it makes sense. We can drive to all the races as well. We don't have to travel by flight. So it's also something to keep in mind, that you can lower your impact a bit in this way through doing a local series, but still have some new experiences. I think for someone from Sweden to run Stranda, if they never went to that region, it will be very particular. And also for us, I mean, when we went to Bornholm, I've been to Bornholm before and I've been fortunate enough to be there, but I think Bornholm is very specific and very beautiful island. It's something quite far off from what we have in Norway. So it's a good way to also experience racing, but experience also different parts of a Nordic culture, which you might not have experienced outside of the series. I'm actually not so sure why I race, or I have thought about it a lot, but when I was younger I was not doing a lot of very competitive sports. I was more like snowboarding, riding bikes in the forest, same, or my sports were more playful. I still think there is an element of play in trail running because the trails are technical, you have fun. I have fun even going uphill personally. But it's probably more about pushing myself and trying to understand where is my limit, but you're also overcoming the challenge. But I think racing is also about celebrating the training you did and celebrating the sport. And I think racing is also social. Races are where I meet a lot of other trail runners. For example, if you run road, you would maybe go train in a specific park or a route in the morning or on the weekend, and you would see a lot of runners. But running trails, sometimes I can get out on a Saturday morning and I don't meet almost anyone. So I think I'm the only person trail running, but then you go to a race and you see 2,000 other people. So that's also where you meet the trail running community. So of course I'm competitive, but I think it's a place where you also celebrate the sport and the other people who do your sport, and you connect with those people. And I think in our, at least in my life and how we live as humans, connection to other people is very important. So for me, that's the like strongest part of racing, is racing with other people and also against other people, but mostly trying to be competitive with what I feel is possible for myself. But then of course in a race, you are in a race, so if you can take someone, you try to take them, right? I work mostly right now with the creative direction and some product development, and I would say that my work is in between traditional sportswear or sports industry and what most people like to consider fashion industry. I'm not so interested in the word, but I'm always interested in product and clothing and something that is tactile since I was young. So that's probably how I ended up in that industry. No, I had a bit the same experience. I was watching a film, like many people probably do. Like I saw something on YouTube in Christmas 2016, and I saw some of these races in the Alps, and I thought it looked completely crazy. Like, who are these people running these mountains? Because it was very far from what I was then doing. Running, I had just run a marathon, right? But I think it's important that you start slow. Probably all of a sudden you found a lot of motivation that you didn't have before. So for me, I always tell people, like, try to go out as often as possible. Like, but maybe in the beginning you can go every second day and go for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then you just build from there and try to have fun. I think in the beginning it's easy to try to compare your effort with your last effort and always looking for progress, but you will not always have progress in every run. That's not possible. So people who train for a long time, they know that an easy run is an easy run and it has to be easy. Inspiration when I'm running. Sometimes, of course, you just need the solitude, a break from the city, a break from your life. If you have a high pace at your work, people asking about a lot of different things at the same time, then as soon as you get out, you can only focus on being on the trail, because it's quite technical. So you need to watch your footsteps, you need to take care of what is in front of you. So in this way, you are relaxing, both mentally, but also maybe physically. But then also, if you go on a long run, after a while, after this first phase is over, then maybe you find some inspiration. Your thoughts are running, you can be more creative. I have some good ideas. Sometimes I even have to stop and write something down, because I know that after the run it's completely gone. But I think that happens a lot for me in nature. And then of course maybe more evident stuff, like the colors I prefer are colors we found in nature. So because I think nature have solved a lot of the problems for us already.